Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, and
Uncle Bobby V, baby.
we're back on regular schedule as always. We're recording this a little bit late because we didn't get that link early, so we had to watch it like everyone else had to watch
We had
it.
to
But
watch
it's okay.
it like the rest of the peons.
But it's okay. It's okay. Super fight was killer. We're gonna get into a lot of it today, and we're not gonna waste any time. Are we? We're gonna get into this.
Yeah, let's get into it. And like they just for what's worth, we were checking. There was about 2,000 people watching live, so that's a pretty good number. They had a nice sized crowd in attendance, and the crowd was hot. They were except the one girl that was sleeping during Enzo.
Yeah.
Enzo
During
Casey.
Enzo's
I mean,
promo.
she's just like on her boyfriend's shoulder, like past
Kinda
the
like
fuck
this.
Yeah, just past the fuck.
And then she woke up and had that like groggy 20-minute sleep eyes where she wasn't sure and she tried to go back to bed, but then she's like, he paid $25 for this.
I mean, hey, you never know. I've been to a wrestling event and I passed out because I was sick as hell, but I still went to the show, so you never know.
Hey,
but anyways,
she supported. She did what she had to do. The butt was in the seat. That's all that matters.
let's get into this shit.
All right. So at the beginning of the episode, we start off with a recap of Hammer and Holiday and Davey Richards, the whole fiasco that's kind of come and how we've percolated to the situation of the super fight, which is the main event of this evening, which is Hammer versus Davey Richards for the heavyweight championship. And Holiday definitely would get involved. Not the way you would think, though. Psychologically more, though, than aggressiveness, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. First thing out the gate, we have Holiday and Alicia showing up to the venue. Alicia looking on point as always. Holiday looking good. In fact, Holiday inspired you to want to go get something possibly after we record.
Oh, now you're gonna be.
I have to.
The white suit, I just wasn't. It's not very Holiday. Like it's
Italian.
I don't know. We don't.
He said it was Italian. He did tell Emilio, "Don't touch this. It's Italian."
I guess we don't wear a lot of white suits, man. Like I'm Italian. Don't touch this.
No,
I'm
I
Italian.
think he means that it was the fabric and everything is from Italy.
But imported. Yeah, no, I saw Richard Holiday and nothing against Richard, but I immediately got a craving for like a 2-piece and a mac salad, man. Just so little Colonel Sanders-esque.
Now, Emilio always asking the on-point tough questions. Says the Holiday right away, will you interfere in tonight's match? To which Alicia cuts him off and says, hey man, I'm the interview queen. That's a stupid question. I got all the tough questions. We don't need you.
We don't need you.
And she dismisses Emilio, like dismisses him like he's a servant back in the olden times. So yeah, he just got like, again, dismissed completely. Now, the first match of the night, we have that 3-way match, which was Tankman versus ACH versus Kane, obviously with Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas is always there watching Kane's back. You know what? The match was solid. Kane won with the lighthouse suplex, which was great. There was a great combo to the outside though, where ACH went for the dive. Tankman caught him with that back elbow that he does so picture perfectly and dropped ACH on his ass. The match was okay, but like I said, Kane prevailed in the way only Kane can. And he's still the reigning, defending openweight title.
Good match. Good way to start the show. All three of these guys can work. They all worked well together. Again, ACH, I'm really happy to see him back in MLW. He brings a lot of athleticism and dynamism to his matches. Like Kane and Tankman are both power guys. Power, suplex, wrestling-based guys, whereas ACH is more of an all-arounder. He can hit you.
Yeah, he's very polished and the finesse is clean.
Right. He can hit you with, he can high fly, he can work technical, he can brawl. So
hybrid.
He brings a little more energy to the match. He moves a little quicker than those two guys too. So it was a cool match. I enjoyed it. 3-way dance. Kane ends out on top, but I don't think it's the end of the saga with these three gentlemen.
No, I think it's really only the tip of the iceberg. I think it's probably going to be the next match we'll see will be ACH and Tankman kind of going back and forth to try to get another shot at that openweight title. Then the winner of that would go on to face Kane, and probably we're going to up the ante in the next one. I want to say maybe like a falls count anywhere, or 2 out of 3 falls, or even steel cage, because with a steel cage, Kane really has nowhere to run, and Thomas can't get fully involved. With a steel cage, it is the equalizer. It almost is like a tag team match because Thomas is on the outside, really can't get involved too much. Kane is trapped on the inside, and the steel cage becomes Kane's tag team partner. It also becomes whoever he ends up facing's tag team partner. So I think the only way to settle this would be in a steel cage, but that's just my 2 cents. And we also get another Emilio Sparks interview. He kind of runs in on the judge. The judge is back. EJ ENDUKA. He's back on the inside, and he's there. He's got his eye on both of these title matches, being the open weight one that he just watched, and later on the super fight. So he says he's got interest in the match for obvious reasons. We knew that ENDUKA was going to be mixed in the title picture at some point or another. How quick that's going to happen, we're unsure. But we know that the judge will eventually be presiding over a heavyweight title fight. I get how I did that. You like that? I thought it was clever.
Very funny.
Yeah, very well. Every once in a while, I'm allowed to throw out a good pun. I mean, doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's picture perfect. Then we get the Von Erichs. They're in the house because they're supposed to be taking on 5150 tonight. They're walking down the stairs, heading towards the locker room, probably going to get changed up. And boom, surprise, attack from 5150. They take out both Ross and Marshall, actually taking out Marshall to the point where they, steel chair on the foot. Danny hits a steel chair, talking a whole bunch of smack. The Von Erichs are laid out. Medical staff is on them, and we're going to get an update a little bit later on about the condition. But 5150 with the sneak attack and then cutting a promo right after. Rob wants to interject. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, see, Marshall got burned because he was walking around in flip-flops. Now,
well, he was going to the dressing room. I mean, you got to dress comfortable when you go to the arena.
Ross was wearing like boots, like hiking boots.
Right. So Ross was a little bit more prepared than Marshall was in that aspect. I'll give you that.
This is why you don't wear flip-flops, because you walk around making that stupid ass sound. You sound like an idiot, and you get your ankle fucked up. Right. See, you live.
So what you're saying is that the sneak attack wasn't the cause of everything, but the flip-flops.
It was the flip-flops.
Okay, so we're blaming the flip-flops.
100%.
An inanimate object. 5150 had nothing.
You're an inanimate object.
I'm just saying, and flip-flops don't have a heartbeat. They don't have a feeling. They can't really, change the course of someone's life.
But they don't protect your foot or your ankle like a pair of hiking boots.
Well, it's more of a fashion statement.
Flip-flops are not flip-flops are a statement that you're fucking lazy.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's fine.
And you have little regard for the ears of the people around you that if listen, you walk. Who's on? Anyways,
before we get to the 5150 promo with Emilio, we find out that Gangrel, he'll be making an appearance at MLW. He'll be coming back soon. So that'll be exciting to see. Always good times to see the leader of the original Brood. So I'm interested to see how that plays out and how they're going to work him into the fold. And then, like I said, Emilio catches up with 5150. They're in the back. They're still hot from that sneak attack that they did on the Von Erichs. And a couple, again, these guys are always great for the sound bites.
Your deer-eating country bumpkin dry mouths, keep them closed.
That was Slice Boogie. Long story short, it says, keep talking, keep running your deer-eating dry mouths. We shut them. Danny Limelight, I'm tired of these trash-ass wrestlers with the last names getting these opportunities. You keep sending them our way, we're going to keep doing stuff like this. In fact, we should probably go find somebody else. Let's just go for the biggest guy in the locker room right now, and let's take care of him. They storm off. Emilio is again left pretty much dismissed. That's kind of Emilio's thing. He gets dismissed rather quickly almost all the time, or finds himself in situations that he should not be putting himself in. But again, he's the one in the trenches, as we were told a few episodes back when he was pleading his case to CD. Then TJP via satellite talking about the middleweight division. He's the GOAT. He is the best technical wrestler alive today, in his words. I don't necessarily dispute him, but there are other great technical wrestlers in the MLW roster, also in a lot of other promotions, but he's definitely up there. He's in the conversation, in my opinion. And Myron Reed, you are not the GOAT, because I'm the GOAT, and you don't deserve that title. I'm going to add it to my trophy case, because the middleweight title would look way better around my waist than it does on yours. So TJP, with some words from Myron Reed, and I guess Reed better start having his head on a swivel, because we know what TJP can do when you're not paying attention.
Yeah. Like setting up Myron Reed and TJP. I'm all for this. Two guys who can fucking work. TJP making some pretty bold claims, but you're hard pressed to argue with him that much. I mean, he's had a pretty long and good career, and he's worked everywhere. He's wrestled everyone. TJP can go. Like, just look at his match last year he had with Josh Alexander, the Iron Man match.
I was just going to mention that match, but also the match he had with Davey Richards.
Yeah.
Like one of the debut matches in the Opera Cup tournament. So say what you want to say, but TJP can work, and there may be some people out there that will dispute us, and that's fine. The great thing about being a wrestling fan is your opinion is your opinion. But if you're watching us, you're interested in our opinion, because we are the first, the only, the best review show you need for MLW. We are often duplicated, but never will they ever capture what we have.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But no, but I short form to say we're often duplicated, but whoever tries to duplicate us can't have what we have.
That's true.
So I said it the way I wanted to say it.
Okay.
All right. And that person knows exactly who they are. Anyways, now we're back on track. And the next match we have is Casey Navarro versus Enzo. And this match started much like the last time they met. Casey walked out first, Enzo sneak attack. He pretty much does the exact same attack that he did to him the first time around. Head off the announce table, throws him into the guardrail, and then back of the head into the ring post. And then he throws Navarro into the ring, grabs a mic, tells the ref, hey, ask him if he still wants a match. And I'm not the biggest Casey Navarro fan, but I will say this was gold. When the ref asked, do you still want to fight? Casey said, how you doing, bitch? Yeah. So that was great. The bell rang. Enzo continued to whoop his ass and then cut a promo that went from very heel to very face to almost praising Casey Navarro for the heart that he has. Reaches out his hand, and then typical Enzo clotheslines him. Casey Navarro's laid out in the middle of the ring, and we're left confused about what exactly Enzo was saying. And almost like he was going to start quoting that famous speech from Rocky that gets everybody hyped up, but then he switched it a little bit, made it his own. Enzo does have the gift of the gab, but the gab only makes sense when the storyline makes sense. You can't cut a heel promo, then go face, then want to like be best friends with the dude all in the same span. This is kind of a story arc that's usually done over a couple of weeks, not a couple of minutes. So Enzo, not really sure where your head was at that promo. And I've always appreciated your mic work, not so much your in-ring ability, but your mic work. But that for me was complete trash. And Casey Navarro, you sold the beat down well. And I hope to see the payoff for this one. But so far, 2 out of 2 times Enzo has bested you, sneak attack or not, he has bested the blessed one.
Yeah, it was okay match. Like wasn't an extremely competitive match because obviously the sneak attack, Casey was on the defensive most of the time. The promo was like kind of confusing. Like you said, I get he's teaching him a lesson, and you can't trust anybody. And
yeah, actually, he said a couple.
You're blessed. I'm blessed. Everyone who
he
woke
said a
up
couple
is
life
blessed.
lessons. There was wrestling 101 life lesson, DTA life lesson 101. It's a cold world, and you're blessed. We're all blessed that we woke up today. He went very spiritual and dark, all in this. Again, this promo was very confusing. Very confusing.
It was like it's like he's being all like, everybody in here, you got a gift, and the greatest thing, you better hope that you can find that gift, and like all this shit.
I got like, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes.
Yeah,
I'm like, hear, okay, I can see, I can walk, I can talk.
Like, is he flipping? But then it's like, okay, so he cuts this kind of face-ish promo, and then takes. So maybe it was just like building him up as a bit to get that handshake from Navarro so he could clothesline him. You know what I mean?
But why not just say good match, young one, and then kind of pick him up, maybe give him a hug, raise his arm, and then do the clothesline. This could have been wrapped up in 30 seconds, and it took over 10 minutes of television time.
I don't think if you just went like good match, young one, like Navarro would have even raised his hand with him. I think he had to maybe really put that work on Navarro to get him to buy that he was, okay, I taught you a lesson, blah, 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 shake my hand, and then either way,
I still think it was a time killer. And the reason why it was a time killer, we find out moments later. A medical update on the Von Erichs. Knee surgery is needed. Ankle surgery is needed. And the Von Erichs and 5150 tag team match is indefinitely postponed. So this match will happen, just not right now. Surprise, surprise. All the promos that the Von Erichs have been cutting leading up to this match was more so stalling, was very COVID yes, COVID no. So we were left in the dark of a lot of things. And the fact is that they showed up to Dallas to get beat down in the stairwell to leave. I understand the reasons behind it, but I mean, the build. If I bought a ticket just to see that match, I'd have been super disappointed the fact that it got stonewalled.
Like, if I'm being honest here too, because you actually pointed out the beatdown, they were wearing completely different clothes. Well, 5150 was than the promo they cut.
Right. 5150 was ring ready in the black trunks that Slice always wears and the red overalls that Danny always wears. And then when they cut the promo in the back later on, they were in completely different streetwear,
which kind of
it takes you as a fan. You notice these things and it takes you out of it. It does take you away.
It just makes me wonder if like there's some other issue where the Von Erichs just can't work right now for whatever reason. I'm not even speculating or trying to imply anything. I'm just saying for whatever reason, Von Erichs can't work right now. So they were like, okay, well, we'll have to write you off TV then somehow So we'll do this angle where 5150 takes you out. Kind of had to call it on the fly, not planned, not part of the long-term arc, but you have to kind of roll with the punches sometimes. So whatever the situation is with the Von Erichs, whether it's COVID or whatever else, I don't know, but hopefully they can wrestle again soon.
Absolutely. But the fact of the matter remains is that if you're the director of the show, just speaking from someone who kind of has that experience coming from the film school background, continuity, it counts. And these are things that, I mean, I can see, a lot of other people can see. It's very easy. It's like when you look for a boom mic in an old episode of like 90s television, you can always find it, especially in Family Matters. Whoever the boom mic operator was there, he should be fired. Complete nonsense that you could always see the boom mic. It takes you away from the show. And I get it, these things happen, but continuity counts. How hard is it to, when you're editing, be like, okay, they're in this gear and now they're in this gear. Hey, can we get Emilio and 5150 to refilm this promo with the gear they had on after the attack? Because this promo is supposed to take place after the attack. I don't see how 5150 logically had time to change. And again, I'm not shitting all over the product. We're just trying to be as upfront, as honest as possible. Continuity counts. And when you don't have that continuity, in my opinion, that polished feel that MLW does have from time to time dissipates, and it drops the numbers, for me at least anyways. So not taking anything away from the product, I still love it, but little things like that are becoming a little bit more of an annoyance. So fix the things, guys. If you're editing, take 30 seconds to look at everything, make sure it matches up. It's not hard. I know you film stuff at different times, but it is not hard for continuity. I'm sure Slice and Danny always had the ring gear there. They could have easily changed. Very simple fix. Very simple. So that's just my 2 cents on that. And now, like I said, we got the update on the Von Erichs, and now it's main event time. It is main event time. But before that, we had another sneak attack by 5150. While the judge was outside in the what do you call that area?
The foyer.
The foyer, I guess you will.
Just doing a meet and greet.
A meet and greet with a couple of fans. He was taking a picture, and then boom, vicious attack again by 5150, ripping the shirt off, beating the judge down, spray painting him white on the back for his troubles, and then disappearing. So now in one episode, 5150 has taken out the hottest rising single star in the judge in MLW, and they've taken out their opponents for their tag titles, and sending a message clearly to CD. We did not see the matchmaker, the booker, if you will, the head booker, CD, at all in this episode tonight, which is very strange, but we will see him definitely in the future. And I know 5150 will have some hell to pay. I know they're in good with CD, but still, punishment is punishment. You can't clear out some of the roster without having some kind of punishment. There has to be repercussions. There just has to be. Well, we could hope anyways. Who knows? CD could be the mastermind behind all of it. And like I said, main event time, we get Alicia, we get Holiday. They're coming out. Holiday's still dressed like Colonel Sandals. Alicia's still looking on point. And Holiday walks up to the 2 seats on the corner. Depending on her TV screen, right side from where you are, left side from when they're entering. He does a little back and forth with the fan, pulls out a wad of green. He's pulling out hundreds like it's nothing. And then he says, you know what, here, take the whole wad. I want to say probably what, $2-3 grand maybe?
Yeah, easily.
He
bought his seats.
He bought the seats. So he dismissed the 2 hillbillies to sit directly behind a Karen. She was all over Holiday, touching the suit, invading his space, talking a lot of shit. No need to do that.
If that wasn't a plant, like
she sold it perfectly. There was also a drunk guy with 3 teeth directly behind Alicia. So I'm sure they felt a little bit uncomfortable. I did watching it, but that's just my 2 cents. And then we got Davey coming out looking like an extra from Cobra Kai, and we got Hammer coming out in the tighty whities. I'm not a big fan of the shorts on Hammer. I like the jeans. I liked his old look. I understand he's trying to be a little bit more professional, looking like a true blue champion, but I don't know. I just prefer the jeans. I like that edgy feel to it. I get it. It's hard to wrestle in skinny jeans, especially when your biceps are bulging through them. It's got to be uncomfortable. I miss the ripped jeans Hammer. I like that look.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I would think, like, if I'm a wrestler, it's got to be a hell of a lot easier working in trunks than working in jeans.
150%.
A lot less sweaty.
For sure. And this match was great. This match was fantastic. It was back and forth. It really put Hammer to the test of one of his first biggest title defenses. And he showed out. But you know what? Davey, to his credit, took 2 nightmare pendulums to put him away and a TKO before Hammer got the 1-2-3. And I thought Holiday was going to interject himself during the match a lot more than he did. At one point, he did cause a little bit of a distraction with a verbal altercation with Hammer outside the ring, which caused Davey to move out of the ring, and Hammer hit his knee on the guardrail, which, again, Davey pinpointed that as a target spot, as Davey does oh so well. But the match was solid. You can't complain. The build for this match was steady, and it really was.
It was
hands
a super
down,
fight.
it was a super fight, and it was a great, great match. I'm going to give this match 10 stars. I said it first, Messler, not you. Fuck you. But anyways, yeah, I give it 10 stars. This was a great match. What's your thoughts on the main event, the super fight that we were waiting for so long?
I enjoyed it. Both guys. Let me back up. It was booked very well in a way that both guys were protected. Like Davey lost clean, but it took 2 Nightmare Pendulums to put him down.
And a TKO.
And I'd even argue that Davey might have been in control for the majority of the match.
And a lot of veteran moves. Whenever Davey was hit with a big move, he rolled right out of the ring. So didn't really give Hammer time to get any kind of a pin, which was, I mean, that's a veteran move.
Right, because we talk about believability and all that stuff, and it made it more believable that these are, especially you got 2 guys that are both basically baby faces working together. So you don't want either of them to win through underhanded tactics or a screw finish or something like that. So Hammer goes over clean. Davey doesn't look bad by any means because he really put Hammer to the grinder, working on those joints on the knee, on the leg, lots of submissions, ankle locks. Both guys worked their style. They complemented each other well. It was a great finish. They went an appropriate amount of time. I have no complaints about this match. I don't know if I'd call it a 10-star. I'd give it like an 8.
Fair enough. Whatever. You're still giving it a good score, and I'm okay with that.
It was an enjoy. At the end of the day, I really have one ranking system for matches.
Enjoyability.
Whether I've been following this build up for 2 years,
right,
or whether I just found out about the match the day of, a good match is a good match, period. And this was a good match.
Yeah, I agree. And right at the end, Davey walking back to the ring apron, a little disappointed doesn't have the gold. Now, before I get into what happened after the match, what's your thoughts on, will we ever find out who stole the Opera Cup, or will it just appear next tournament?
No, I think there's a little more. I think they maybe just kind of shelved that for the time being.
They shelved it for sure.
It's an easy storyline to bring back. You can always just be like, you need to give Davey an opponent, like this person stole the Opera Cup. If it's not already part of their long-term booking, it's an easy way to give Davey an opponent.
Now, the great thing about this storyline is that you can use this angle to debut someone, or maybe have someone return, or you could use a current member of the roster. If I could just pick your brain, if you were going to use somebody currently in the roster right now, who would you put in a program with Davey Richards after the great build that you did for Super Fight? Because Davey's got to go somewhere. He's now at the bottom of the totem pole. He's got to work his way all the way back up to get another title shot. So if you're Court Bauer and the creative team, if you're going to use somebody currently on the roster, who are you going to announce as the man or woman who stole the Opera Cup?
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I feel like it would be somebody from like the Lucha or the Azteca side, like something with CD involved, some kind of skinny CD-esque thing. Maybe it's like King Muertes. I don't know. I'd like to see Davey work King Muertes. It would be similar to the Hammer situation. You got a power guy versus a technical guy. That would be a good one. I don't know. Who would you put?
I'd have somebody return.
You'd have a return?
And it's somebody that a lot of people wouldn't like, but I think it works well because I don't think they've wrestled each other in a very long time or ever. I'm going to throw out Austin Aries.
Well, I mean, we know Killer Cross is coming. So that would be a good match, Davey and Killer. If Killer stole the Opera Cup, who knows? Like MLW, we saw they got this open door policy. I mean, we just saw Buddy Matthews a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember now, on pop up on He's All Elite, and I'm sure this was filmed prior, but he's on MLW next week.
Well, look at Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish was in the Opera Cup tournament, and then he was All Elite. Obviously filmed prior, doesn't matter. Still, MLW, much like Impact, is utilizing this open door, forbidden door, whatever the hell you want to call it, utilizing it to the best of their ability, bringing in really good stars, even if it's for a one-off or a two-off match. Still great to see.
Well, nothing against MLW. They don't have the financial resources of an AEW or WWE.
No, they can't bring them in long term.
They can't bring all these guys in long, but you can come in for a few dates, work a few shows, bring some more eyes, bring some good matches. Like, again, I don't care who the name is. If the match is good, people will watch it. That's the end of the day. That's all that matters. You can have all the big names in the world, but if the match quality is not good, people are not going to be interested. I think we've seen that with some big promotions like right now.
150%. So now let's get into the moments after the match. Holiday and Hammer, they lock eyes for the second time of the night. There's a lot of smack talking, a lot of back and forth. And boom, Alicia sprays Hammer in the face with mace. Try saying that 10 times fast. He drops to his knees. Holiday goes on the attack. Security comes out, and it's literally a bloodbath. And now the white suit made sense, because how else do you show blood but on a white suit? And he busted Hammer wide open. He looked unhinged. At some points, he looked even demonic, if I may say so myself. 12 guys holding him back, yet he still found a way to get through to Hammer. And to Hammer's credit, when he was trying to be escorted to the back multiple times, he turned around and went right back at Holiday. So the build is steady. The build is strong. The ultimate payoff will be the former Dynasty brothers facing off one-on-one. The only like feather in the cap that I would need, or the cherry on top, would be MJF as the special guest referee for this match. I know it's in my wildest dreams. Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath, but still, it would be, if MJF did come back as a special guest ref, I would absolutely love it. I think it would be great.
Okay, so I'm gonna nitpick here for a minute.
Okay, nitpick for a minute, but let's wrap her up.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna nitpick for a minute. Too many security guys out there with Holiday Hammer. Okay, you had security out with Kane and Tangman and ACH
From last week.
And one security guard held Alex Kane.
A ref.
A ref. One ref held Alex Kane. You can't tell me that one ref can hold Alex Kane, but 12 guys can't hold Richard Holiday.
Well, now hold on now, but it does make sense in a certain way. Sometimes when your adrenaline is through the roof, you could have the strength of 10 men. So it's perfectly plausible to assume that Holiday's adrenaline was running through the roof because he had gotten a little taste of blood and he became unhinged. Therefore, he had a little bit more strength than he normally would have.
Okay, he was raging. He wasn't on PCP.
I didn't say he was on PCP, but he was raging and his adrenaline was shooting through the roof.
Yeah, but 12.
But haven't you ever heard the story of a mother when her fear adrenaline is through the roof? She can lift a car to save a baby underneath it. Like, these things have happened. They have actual proof of these things happening.
Yes, I'm aware of the effect of adrenaline. I'm just saying, 12 guys.
I think you're nitpicking at a very small thing.
I said I was.
I know that, but I think it's a very small tidbit. All right, I nitpicked about continuity, which took me out of the episode. You're nitpicking about 12 guys holding back Colonel Sanders. Like, let's be honest.
Okay,
apples to oranges, I believe at that point.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, he became unhinged, and he walked back grinning with his woman on his arm, Hammer's blood on his shirt, and the build is steady. The build is strong. Now we got some match announcements for next week before we shut the socials and say goodbye. Roxy versus a third generation, second generation.
I think Miranda Gordy is a second generation wrestler.
Second generation wrestler. That's right. The daughter of Gordy. She's coming. And we're gonna get TJP versus Buddy Murphy, like Rob said, probably filmed well before his All Elite debut, but nonetheless, this one will be a technical showcase, and it's a great way to throw TJP right into that title picture for the middleweight championship. Get a win over Buddy Murphy. That's a guy who's got solid stock in wrestling. Get a win over him. That would definitely put him in a number one contendership spot. No issue. So I'm looking forward to that.
Should be good.
And that's it for this one. So if you enjoy the rewind, like we hope you do, hit that subscribe button. Keep us growing. We are at 467. Last week we were at 469. Hey, what can you do? You lose a couple subscribers, you gain a couple subscribers, such as life.
Get us back up to 69, please.
Or get us to 70, over 70. We wanted to hit 70 by the end of March. We are literally 2 weeks into March. We can definitely make this happen. We only need 3, and then we can go 480, 490, so forth and so on. So help us keep growing, because we love reviewing MLW each and every week, and we are back on regular schedule, as you now know. So as always, I'm your host, your boy George Mackay. You can find me at Straight Talk Wrestling on Instagram, Facebook, and at _Straight Talk on Twitter. And if you're watching this, Straight Talk Wrestling on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And my PIC,
Uncle Bobby B, baby.
You gonna give your socials, or
you know my socials? The real Uncle Bobby B on Instagram, and some.
I'm not even gonna bother with the
Twitter shit. I don't use.
He doesn't use it. All right, guys. Peace, love, and wrestling. See you next week.
Adios.